How's it going, everyone? It's Justin from Stand and Bang, and UFC 235 just ended about an hour ago. It's midnight, so I have to talk a little bit lower, but amazing night of fights. I actually predicted every fight on the main card wrong, but that's just MMA for you. It's unpredictable, but it's always fun to make your predictions. The first fight that I want to talk about, Macy Chiasson took on Gianna Mazzani in the Fight Pass prelims, and Macy Chiasson, this was the first fight I ever seen of her, and leading into the fight, I thought Gina was gonna win the fight, but I'm no joke. When they were announcing the names and Macy was doing her walk back and forth, I was like, oh nope, she's gonna win. Just because she had that like she had a mean stare, and like she looked like she was so ready. She kind of had like the Diaz strut, like when Nate Diaz does his strut when they're announcing his name. She had the exact same strut, and I was like, oh nope, nope, she's gonna win. And she destroyed Gina in the first round, knocked her out unconscious. You don't really see too many women getting getting knocked unconscious. I only really seen it with Cyborg, and then with Carolina, and it just happened tonight. It was very crazy. So this chick Macy Chiasson, I hope I'm saying her last name right. Definitely a prospect for women's bantamweight division. It's gonna be interesting seeing how she does when she faces tougher competition. She's really tall and lengthy, so maybe her against somebody like Drain Duranime, who's also tall and lengthy. That'll be a really good striking match, I believe. But yeah, good win for Macy. Awesome to see. Brutal TKO. Good win for her. Next fight I'd like to talk about is Diego Sanchez. Man, did I predict this one wrong? I thought the size and the youth was going to come into play for Mickey Gall, and I thought he was going to end up getting a decision win or a submission win. But how was I wrong, man? I was so wrong. Diego Sanchez was back to his old self. He looked like his old self. In the beginning, in the first round, he was having trouble reaching Mickey Gall. It seemed like every time Diego threw, he was like only hitting like the shoulders and the body of Mickey Gall. Like he was really having trouble reaching Mickey Gall, just the size difference. But Diego started gassing Mickey Gall out, and when they went to the ground, in my prediction video I said Diego Sanchez can do his wrestling game, but he needs to be aware of the submissions, and that's exactly what he did. He did his wrestling game, but he was aware of the submissions. Mickey tried to grab a couple leg locks and stuff, and Diego was smart about it. And he, defended all submission attempts for Mickey. Mickey didn't do too much. He didn't really have an answer on the ground, but when it got into the second round, it was over. Mickey Gall got hit with like a brutal knee, and he had a delayed reaction, crumbles to the ground. And then Diego just put it on from there. He got on top, dropped bombs, dropped elbows. Then Mickey got flattened out, and then Diego dropped strikes until the fight was stopped in the second round. It was awesome. Good win for Diego. Diego also looked really like he was ready to put on a show before the match started. When they're announcing the name, he looked so intense. He looked super ready, and he did put on a show. Good win for Diego Sanchez. Really good win, especially since Mickey Gall's calling him out. I don't really have, like, it's kind of weird the people Mickey Gall be calling out, because like Mickey Gall obviously fought CM Punk, and then he called out Sage Northcutt, who's a good fight. He beat Sage Northcutt. That's a good win. But then after that he called out Dan Hardy, and I'm like, what are you doing to calling out Dan Hardy, bro? Dan Hardy's retired and he's a commentator. And then he calls out Diego after his last win too, and I'm like, bro, I don't know. I just find it weird that he's calling out these older people just to get his name out there. But really good win for Diego Sanchez. Proved me wrong. Turned the clock. What's the saying? Turn back the clock. And he got a really good win. TKO in the second round. Next fight I want to talk about. Oh my god, it was amazing. I predicted this one right. One of the only ones I really predicted right. It's the Johnny Walker versus Misha Serkinov fight. Johnny Walker defeats Misha Serkinov with a flying knee in the first round, 36 seconds. Yes, 36 seconds. Johnny Walker's last fight, I believe, was I'm gonna get this wrong, like 16 seconds or something like that. Johnny Walker is finishing people crazy. He is not afraid to strike at all. He is so not tentative. He is so like guns blazing, not gun shy at all. And like somebody like what we saw tonight against John Jones, Anthony Smith, I was wrong. You know what I mean? I'll get into that later. But Anthony Smith was gun shy, and somebody like Johnny Walker during the same weight class. If Johnny Walker keeps winning, man, him against John Jones would be so exciting just because of fighting styles, and especially seeing Johnny Walker doesn't look like he's gun shy at all. He will throw his first couple strikes would be a spinning back fist to a hook kick or flying knee in the first 30 seconds. He is insane. Really good win for him because Misha Serkinov has been around the UFC, got some good wins, so definitely a good win for Johnny Walker. I would like to see him go a little bit later past the first round just to see how he is with his whole gas tank situation. But man, he's looking like a straight superhero right now. This is what we want to see, crazy knockouts, and he's doing it. And here's the real kicker. You know how Johnny Walker always does a crazy celebration, like after he defeated Khalil Roundtree, he went jumping around everywhere, jumped at least 50 times, and then when he beat Justin Ledet and the one before this fight tonight, he did the crazy worm all over the octagon. Well, tonight, after he knocked out Misha Serkinov in 36 seconds with that knee, he tried to do his celebration. His fight went as planned, but his celebration didn't go as planned. He dropped to do the worm, and he dislocated his shoulder, and I'm not even joking to you guys. Look it up on Instagram. He dislocated his shoulder trying to do the worm. I kid you not, he hurt himself more in his post-fight celebration than the actual fucking fight. This fucking guy is crazy, man. He comes out dancing, he comes out with the craziest strikes, and then he doesn't even get himself hurt in the fight. He gets hurt during his celebration. He's crazy. I hope his shoulder is not too bad. It doesn't seem like it's too bad, but you never know. He dropped all his weight trying to do the worm, and he fucking popped it out of place or something. And when I was watching, I wonder what happened, because like I saw him going for the worm, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna do this thing, and then he just like kind of flopped and like went on his back. I'm like, what the fuck? What happened to your dance, fam? And then we find out later, his shoulder popped out. That's so funny. But really good win for Johnny Walker. Very exciting fighter, doing these crazy moves for light heavyweight. Definitely want to see him fight John Jones in the future if they both keep winning. On to the next fight I want to talk about. Pretty underwhelming, but it was definitely a good fight though. Not boring at all, but I expected more from it. Zabit Magomedsharipov defeats Jeremy Stephens by unanimous decision. It was a good fight. Jeremy was having the trouble reaching Zabit, like how I said in my prediction, where Zabit is just going to see everything Jeremy's going to be throwing because Jeremy loads up too much. And that's kind of the story right here. Jeremy was loading up too much, and Jeremy did have a little bit of success with the leg kicks, which I said was open in my prediction video, but Zabit adjusted and really did work when they went to the grappling exchanges. Jeremy Stephens had no answer when Zabit took him to the ground, and Zabit just did his thing. Really good fight. I thought Zabit was gonna make it more, exciting, more flashy strikes. Zabit didn't really use too much flashy strikes. He really stick to he used his own leg kicks, and the main thing was the grappling for Zabit, his movement and grappling. But good win for Zabit. And to be honest, before the official decision was announced, even though it was unanimous, I thought Jeremy Stephens was going to get the win, just because the whole fight, pretty much, besides when Zabit had him on the ground, Jeremy Stephens was pushing the pace and having Zabit on his back pedal the whole time. Sometimes the judges score it for that, but then sometimes they don't. It's just depending on the judges and what they see. But good win for Zabit. He's still undefeated. And very good win over somebody that's ranked number, I believe at the time, ranked number 6. So that's up there, right up in the top 5 almost. So very good win for Zabit. I would like to see him. Ooh, who should Zabit fight next? This Yair Rodriguez got to do that fight. Do it, and honestly, I don't know. That'll be a really amazing fight, and they gotta do it 5 rounds. Cause see whose gas they would give up because they're both flashy. Let's see who will give in first. Gotta do that fight for a 5-rounder. Him versus Yair. That'd be a really good fight. A really good win for Zabit tonight. Defeated Jeremy Stevens by unanimous decision. And to next fight I want to talk about. One I was super hyped for. Cody Garbrandt versus Pedro Munoz. Pedro Munoz defeats Cody Garbrandt in round 1 via knockout. It was an insane fight. It started off a little bit slow in the beginning with more of just filling each other out with leg kicks, but then in the last minute and a half or so, they turned up. It became a slugfest. After there was an exchange, and I still haven't looked at the replay, so I'm not sure, but the commentators were saying that it was a headbutt. After in one exchange, Cody gets dropped and he gets up right away and he like points at his head, and the commentator says that he got dropped by a headbutt. It could have been a punch though, I'm not sure. And then after that exchange where it was supposedly a headbutt, Cody just like threw caution out the window and just started fucking swinging and banging with Pedro. And he had some success with it. He was actually tagging Pedro a couple times, and then he was landing some really good knees, flying knees too. But that style of swinging and banging, man, you gotta have a chin for it, or you gotta be real elusive. And Cody Garbrandt just doesn't have the chin for him, man. Why didn't Cody watch my goddamn prediction video, dude? I told him in a prediction video not to load up. I said don't load up as much. Make it like the Dominic Cruz fight. But no, he doesn't watch my prediction video. He doesn't listen to me. I don't know why. I should be in his corner, bro. I would have got him definitely not knocked out in that situation. I would have told him. I don't know. I'm just obviously talking out my ass, but that just seems like Cody. That's just something about Cody. He's very emotional, I guess. If like, if he sees you hurt, or if you get him mad, he's just gonna come to try to take your head off. And if against really high level fighters, it's obviously predictable for them. They see the punches coming, and they also have better chins than him, and that just leads to a knockout. Even though they don't have the power as much power as Cody, they have a better chin. Good win for Pedro Munoz, though. I'd like to probably see him fight Aljamain Sterling. I seen Sterling reacting to the fight and saying he's ready. That's a good fight. They should do that. That'll be a real exciting fight. But man, what's for Cody, dude? That's 3 knockouts in a row. I don't know. I don't know what's next for Cody Garbrandt. I don't know, because like I said in my prediction video, I thought this would be a perfect fight for Cody to get back in the win column, get his confidence back. And, you know, in a sense it was, because Pedro's not necessarily known as a heavy puncher, and he just got knocked out by him. Pedro Munoz is mostly known for his toughness and grappling. And he tried to go toe-to-toe with him and he got knocked out. It's just hard to say. I don't know. I think Cody should just take some time off. Obviously, he just got knocked out cold. We'll see later to who he should fight. But obviously, he has a hole in his game, a tendency that he needs to fix, or else it's just gonna keep costing him. And that tendency is just stop loading up as much. Obviously, he just needs to go back and look at the Dominic Cruz fight. That was a beautiful display of art. He didn't load up as much, hardly ever in that fight, and he just let the opportunities come to him. And look what happened. He shined as bright as ever on the night that he needed to, but then now, I don't know. It sucks because I'm a big Cody Garbrandt fan. But a good win for Pedro Munoz, because before this fight was even announced, to be honest, I didn't even know who Pedro Munoz was. But now I know. Now I definitely know who he is, you know what I mean? So, excuse me. So, yeah, good win for Pedro. Next fight I want to talk about was the one before the co-main event of the evening. It was an amazing fight while it lasted. Another first round finish. It was Ben Askren versus Robbie Lawler. Ben Askren defeats Robbie Lawler by a bulldog choke. Now, there's some controversy here. Let me break it down for you guys. So in the first minute 30, freaking Robbie Lawler, well, actually Ben Askren goes for a takedown and actually gets almost the back of Robbie Lawler, but then Robbie Lawler turns around and picks Ben Askren up and slams him on his head and starts dropping bombs on Ben Askren. And when I mean bombs, I mean bombs. Like, Ben Askren instantly gets cut open. The fight's literally about to get stopped then and there, because it was nasty. Askren was taking a lot of unanswered strikes, but Askren being tough and having really good wrestling, he recovered, got to his feet, and then later in the round, it got to about 3 minutes into the fight, and Ben Askren kept on trying to put that grinding style, trying to reach out to Robbie Lawler, and he ended up getting the back of Robbie again, locking up a choke, and then he had the choke tight. He was really cranking on the choke. It was a really nice bulldog choke, one that what's her name? The one that fought Amanda Nunes? Raquel Pennington. The one that Raquel Pennington got. Really nice choke. And the controversy comes here where Ben Askren is cranking, and Robbie Lawler is not really showing too much to the ref. And at one point, Robbie Lawler's arm kind of just like goes limp. Not limp, but just kind of drops to the mat. And once the ref sees that, the ref stopped the fight. But Robbie Lawler pops up right away and doesn't look out of it at all, and says that he was completely fine and didn't go out. And that's where the controversy happens. And I was watching a press conference, the post-fight press conference, and see Robbie Lawler sticking to his thing. He said he didn't go out. He actually wasn't getting choked at all. He said it was more on his I believe around his ear and cheekbone. So he said he was fine. He wasn't getting choked. He even said he put a thumbs up to the ref. So he's saying this on the ref. But he's being a G about it. He's not complaining. He's not being whiny about it. So respect to Robbie Lawler being a class competitor. And all respect to Ben Askren. Whether if he win or lost, he got Robbie Lawler into that position. He came back from adversity, and good win for Ben Askren. Very good win for Ben Askren. Good comeback for Askren. Definitely deserved it. Man, Dana White threw him with a killer in his first fight, and I love what Ben Askren had to say. He said, "Dana White, is that the best you got?" And it's kind of funny because like Ben Askren was saying that all with a busted up face and all bloody, but that's a badass thing to say, you know what I mean? Is that all you got? Just choked out Robbie Lawler, your former welterweight champ. Was good. It was awesome. Good win for Ben Askren, but there was some controversy. Whether Robbie Lawler went out or not, still got to give it for Ben Askren for coming back and battling through adversity. Onto the co-main event of the evening. Kamaru Usman versus Tyron Woodley. This one I predicted wrong. Really surprised me. Kamaru Usman defeats Tyron Woodley via unanimous decision. Like, when I mean unanimous, I mean 50-44, 50-44, and 50-45. Completely dominated Woodley from the first round to the fifth round. Woodley was just completely unoffensive. Didn't really throw too much offense. He landed, like, I could say maybe 3-4 really good or glancing right hands. That's about it. It was all Usman doing his normal game plan, like what he did to RDA, what he's been doing to most of his opponents. Just put him against the cage, grapple with them, land some shots, and then grind them to the ground and don't let them get up. And that's what he did with Woodley, and it was surprising. Woodley had literally no answer. He didn't even try to do nothing off his back. He just kind of laid there, like, seeming like he was just lost. Like, he just didn't know what to do. He was surprised, and surprised me. Usman has amazing wrestling, man, and he displayed it tonight. Defeated Woodley, dominated Woodley from the first bell to the end bell. Very good win. We got a new welterweight champion. I heard that they're going to be scheduling already Usman versus Colby Covington. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, because I just seen the post-fight press conference, and apparently Usman went to the press conference on a wheelchair. So I don't know what's up with his injury, but he just went through a 5-round fight. So something's up, maybe from leg kicks or something. But if that Colby fight is gonna happen, I think it's not gonna be official until we find out what's up with Usman. But very good win for Usman. We got a new welterweight champion. Very, very shocking. Surprised me. Very, very shocking. Dominated with me in the wrestling aspect. On to the main event of the evening, Jon Jones versus Anthony Smith. Jon Jones defeated Anthony Smith via unanimous decision, 48-44 across the boards. What can you say about this fight? It was just a normal Jon Jones fight. Pick apart from a distance, kicking range, and utilize really good wrestling. Everything I said in my prediction video happened, and everything that I said that Anthony needed to do, he really didn't do. But when he did do it, it worked. And yeah, Anthony Smith even said himself in a post-fight conference, he just beat himself up about it, that he didn't pull the trigger as often, because he said that everything Jon Jones did, he saw, he trained for, and he just doesn't know why he didn't pull the trigger. And at a lot of the fight, Anthony Smith stayed at Jon Jones' kicking range, and like I said in my prediction video, that's not where you want to be against Jon Jones. That's where he's going to have his best moments. And he really destroyed the leg of Anthony Smith, and landed a couple good head kicks there. Anthony Smith actually did a real good job of bringing his arms up to block him. But yeah, Jon Jones implemented his wrestling, really out wrestled Anthony Smith, and then at one point Jon Jones though kicked Anthony Smith when he was down, and the ref didn't call it, and they let the fight continue, which was wrong because it was obviously a down kick. You could hear the fans react like, oh, what the heck, and they start booing it because nothing happened. And then obviously the commentators were talking about it, so it was really clear. I don't know why the ref didn't say anything about it. And then I believe in the same round later, Jon Jones lands a brutal knee that was illegal. And it's not necessarily on Jon Jones' part because Anthony Smith was kind of getting up, so it was hard to time. You know, he was trying to time it. But it was loud. You could hear the pop. It sounded like somebody smacked a coconut. And I remember I was watching the fights with my family, and when the doctors brought in, my family was like, oh, they're going to stop the fight. I'm like, nope. Anthony Smith's not going to give up like that. And then as soon as I said that, bro, he literally telling them, like, nah, I'm good. And the doctors leave the octagon. And, you know, respect to Lionheart, respect to Anthony Smith for not giving up and taking the disqualification, giving Jon Jones disqualified, because he had all rights to. He was getting dominated in the fight, and he takes a brutal illegal knee, and he still wants to continue fighting. Respect to Anthony Smith, but Jon Jones didn't implement his game plan. Anthony Smith just stayed at kicking range, and Jon Jones made him pay for it, and made him pay on the ground when it got to the grappling exchanges. Very good night of fights, though, guys. Very good night of fights. Hope you guys enjoyed the fights as much as I did, and I hope you guys enjoy this recap, and I hope you enjoyed my breakdown. To the next fights, or actually to my next video. Hope you enjoy. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Alright, later, guys. Peace.